Hey guys, thanks for watching another episode of Project with Chaz. How the freak am I gonna do that? Today I saved a freaking ton of cash by doing a electric hot water heater by myself. I took out the old one because the water stunk like rotten eggs, full of sediment. It was over 10 years old. Put in this new one I ordered from online. All it was is it's a hot water, cold water, and electricity connectors. So I turned off the breaker and had to buy some parts at the hardware, like some new shark bites that fit the fittings to the hot water tank. And that's it. Since a plumber wants $1,600 to replace this little 30-galloner, I went ahead and looked online and I bought myself a 28-galloner, and I just brought it out. So I'm going to try to bring this into the cottage myself and get it rigged up. All right, I got both of these off. Water shot all over me. Looks like somebody just gave me a golden shower. And next step is the electricity. So I've turned off what should be the hot water tank, but to make sure, I'm going to shut off the main because I don't want to get myself electrocuted. I have water oozing all over, so I'm going to take this overflow valve. I'm going to try to release some of the pressure because I think it's the pressure is built up in the tank and it's starting to shoot out. So I got this set up. Not much happening. What? Oh, there we go. Apparently it has to be like that. So I'm draining a little water out of here to relieve the pressure. And because there's so much sediment in this tank, when I hook a hose to this, nothing comes out. So I'm going to try ramming something in there to stir it up a bit. But if not, I brought a siphoning hose and a pump. And if you saw my pontoon video where I siphon or pump water out of the pontoon because it was starting to sink, I brought that pump with me, and I'm going to stick a hose in here and try to pump water out so I can move this thing. All right, just turned off the main breaker. I'm not screwing around. I don't want to get freaking fried in case this thing was mislabeled, the breaker panel. So I undid the wires, took this little thing off. I have water still coming up and out of the water heater, and it's going to fill this overflow tray up here quickly. But I think it's going out of the emergency, it's going down the emergency pipe, which I think goes to the sump pump crock and then out. But I'm going to try to siphon some water out of here or break the sediment loose through here. Either way, I got to haul ass and get this out of here. All right, I'm going to take off this fitting. The shark bite is on top of the fitting. I'm going to try to get this off of here so I can stick a siphoning hose into this tank. I tried using one of these ripcord things to get the sediment to break loose to let water out, and it's just so freaking packed. I can't even I can't hook a hose to this to drain it, so I'm going to have to come in through the top. Okay, I have this pump and I have it rigged up to a hose that I'm going to stick into the tank. I turned on the power and I made sure that my wires are hanging up here and not touching. But I do have the breaker off, and it is labeled hot water tank, so I'm pretty sure that those are not live wires. I touched it with a tester and nothing moved, but I'm not an electrician, so I'm playing it safe. I am going to, but I do have to turn the power on so I can plug in my pump. Got a pump running to the outside, and I'm pumping water out of the hot water tank. It's crazy out. Oh yeah. Okay, if you're wondering what kind of pump I used, I bought this at, I don't know, Ace, one of the hardware stores, and it's been a lifesaver. Not only did I pump all the water out of my pontoon, I just pumped 30 gallons out of that hot water heater. Okay, all the water is out. the next step is to manhandle this thing out of this closet and throw it out in the yard so I can get that full hillbilly look to the homestead. Got the bastard out of here. My back is shot, so probably won't be able to walk tomorrow, but I just kind of dragged it over that lip and then put it on a dolly and wheeled it out into the driveway, letting it drain upside down a little more. It's full of sludge and shit. So let's get this new one unpacked and get it rigged up. Well, like most projects, I gotta go back to the hardware because now I gotta figure out how to connect these two together. So male to male doesn't work. I need like a female part to go in between. Hopefully that's not politically incorrect, but that's what I'm calling it. So this is the shark bite. Those little teeth in there, they grab onto the pipe in here. And I need to connect this to that. So off to Ace we go, or whatever hardware that you want to go to. Okay, I had to take this overflow pipe off the old water heater because I need to rig it up onto this one. Multi-purpose thread sealant. And I bought 2 new shark bites. These are going to fit onto here. And then depending on if that pipe is too long in here, I bought a cutter. Okay, I put on some plumber's tape, a little bit of the gritty glue stuff, kind of a sealant paste. And then I even put this back on. Or I connected this from the old one. So next step is to drag this in, set it into place, connect the water, fill it up, and then connect the electricity. All right, now that I have this new fitting on, it's too high in the air because the stem that comes with this new tank is higher than my old one. So I don't want to put any stress on that elbow back there. So I know that this will sink into about here. So I'm going to take a marker and I'm just going to cut a little below it. I don't want to cut too much off and then be screwed. I can always cut more. So I'm going to do that, and then it should just sit perfectly. So this thing just clamps on and you spin it around and it eventually makes a groove to where it'll break apart. And then I just took a pair of pliers and it just popped off, snapped off. Now I'm gonna stick this into the shark bite. Just gonna feed it in, push it in tight. And get it lined up, but I gotta use 2 hands, so I'll show you when I'm done. Just make sure that your hot water tank is off. So I'm gonna wire this up and flip the breaker. See if we can get some hot water. So the instructions say to fill the tank before I connect the electricity because you don't want to start warming up the water. The element inside the tank could sizzle out or whatever will happen. So like a heater in a fish tank, you need water around it for it to work. Otherwise it'll explode. So I'm gonna get this ready at least, and then I'm gonna turn on the water. Okay, I took this little cap off and red, black, and then this ground will go to that little green screw. And let's turn on the water first. Filling up. I'm not seeing any leaks, which is good. Nothing coming out of here. Nothing coming out of the overflow. Try not to screw with this if you don't have to. Sometimes when you undo these and then lock it back down, it doesn't get quite the perfect seal. At least that's my experience on my last house, and I had to replace this whole thing. But it's filling up. I'm assuming it will stop when it's full, but it's a 28 galloner, so let's give this a minute. Red to red, black to black. All right. right, that's pretty tight. Oh, shit. You know what? I screwed up. This plate has to come off because I have to put this plate on. This is the plate that goes to the water heater. This is to the old water heater. So let me undo this and get this plate off and swap them out. So I got to get a pair of pliers on here and just get this off of here. It'll unscrew. And then I don't think that's going to fit through there. Looks like we got another problem on our hands. Alright, this is about the width of this hole. So I'm just going to use the plate that was already on here. Okay, I've got the plate, all the wires connected underneath the plate. I got the plate screwed in. Now I've got a little gap here because I'm using the old plate plus half of the new plate. This hole isn't big enough for this, so I'm going to have to do some investigation and come up with a new plate. We have hot water, and I don't have any leaks, so those shark bites are holding. No leaks from the overflow valve, no leaks from the drain spigot, and unless you have microscopic fingers, nobody's getting a finger in that little crack. So I'm good to go for now until I can get a plate that fits that properly. But nobody's coming into this closet. It's so full of crap, nobody can get back there. I've had this on for about a half hour. I have hot water, so all's good. So yeah, $1,600 from the plumber, or did it myself for like under $600. Boom, baby. All right, if you enjoyed this video and it helped you out, or you're thinking about doing this project and you're doing some research, please give me a like, maybe follow me and leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.